Good evening. On behalf of Mayor Janet Cowell, the Raleigh City Council, City Manager Marshall Adams-David, and the Raleigh Police Department, we welcome you to the swearing-in ceremony for Raleigh Police Chief Rico Boyce. As we begin the ceremony, please stand for the presentation of the colors by the RPD Color Guard and the National Anthem by retired Raleigh Police Senior Detective Dale Montague.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right.
Retired police chaplain Paul Anderson, pastor at the Fountain of Raleigh, will now deliver the invocation.
Good evening. May we bow our heads and give thanks. Master of the universe, we gather before you today with gratitude and with reverence as we celebrate and affirm the leadership of Chief Rico Boyce. We thank you for his 25 years of faithful service and dedication to justice and his heart for the community. Lord, you have guided his steps from these early days, from being a beat officer here in Southeast Raleigh to the moment of this great responsibility. We ask that you would continue to walk with him and lead him with wisdom, courage, and with integrity. We lift up his family and those who have guided and shaped him, those who with unwavering support have strengthened him. We ask that you bless his wife, his children, and all of those family members who have assembled from far and near. Now, Lord, we pray that you would be with the men and the women of the Raleigh Police Department, both sworn and civilians. Unite them with purpose and deepen their commitment to service, and bless them and all who are part of this ceremony on today. We lift up all of those who are in management and leadership. We thank you for our mayor. We thank you for our city manager. We thank you for our city council and all of those who come far and near to celebrate this moment. So we ask that you be present and great in our midst, that we can say, as the one in the text said, it was good to have been here. So we pray and ask this all in your mighty name. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Anderson. You all may be seated. My name is Taisha Mosley, and I currently serve as the City of Raleigh's Community Engagement Director. But once upon a time, and I won't tell you exactly how long ago, I was a student here at the great and wonderful Southeast Raleigh Magnet High School. Go Bulldogs. Thank you. At that time, Principal Harden back there was just Coach Harden. Coach Campbell, I'm not sure if he's here tonight, but he was just my classmate, EJ. And yes, and Chief Boyce was my school resource officer, affectionately known as Rico. As our school resource officer, he, of course, prevented us from skipping class. Not that I ever tried to. He checked everyone's ID before we left off campus for lunch. He responded to emergencies and helped maintain a safe environment for the students and staff. But what's important is that he also advocated for us beyond the classroom in this physical building. Yes, he was an officer at our school, but he was an intentional and dependable resource in our lives. He took the time to learn our names, ask about our interests, and engage with us in a way that made him approachable and human. His civility and compassion stood out, which honestly helped shape my understanding of what community policing could and should be. Almost 2 decades later, I told you all the time after all, our paths have crossed again, and even though his title has changed many times since back in the day, what has remained constant is his dedication, his heart, and his commitment to this community. His unwavering promise to build bridges, to foster trust, and to serve with integrity should be an inspiration to us all. His appointment as the 31st Chief of Police is a testament of what any bulldog can do. We can start from the bottom with a goal. We can overcome adversity. We can remain true to our core values. And last, but certainly not least, we can see it through. Because you can honestly never, ever beat the pride of a bulldog. So Chief Boyce, it is my absolute honor and esteemed privilege to be here today and preside over your swearing-in ceremony. Congratulations. So with us today, please allow me to introduce the special guests on stage and seated in the audience, Raleigh Mayor Janet Cowell, Raleigh City Manager Marshall Adams David, our honoree, Raleigh Police Chief Rico Boyce, and the Honorable Craig Crooms, Special Superior Court Judge. You also just heard from retired police chaplain Reverend Paul Anderson. And if there are any members of the Raleigh City Council in attendance this evening, please stand to be recognized. So with us was Mayor Pro Tem Stormy Ford and District C Councilmember Corey Branch, We also want to acknowledge the presence of the City of Raleigh Assistant City Managers, Department Directors, and other elected and appointed officials who are joining us this evening. We celebrate a new chapter in the history of the Raleigh Police Department with the swearing in of the department's 31st Chief of Police. We welcome the family, the friends, and the fellow law enforcement colleagues of Chief Boyce. We are grateful for the presence of those who live, work, play, and learn in the city of Raleigh. And we request your continued support as Chief Boyce embarks on this new chapter in this distinguished law enforcement career. The sworn, civilian, professionals, retired, and volunteer members of the Raleigh Police Department celebrate the promotion of Chief Boyce as they look to his leadership and guidance within the organization. The Raleigh Police Department stands on its rich history of exceptional leaders. With the appointment of its first intendant of police in 1795, 230 years later, we celebrate and acknowledge the trailblazing accomplishments and journey of one of RPD's own, Rico Boyce, as he is sworn in as Chief of Police. He is a graduate of the 76th session of the Raleigh Police Academy in 2000. Chief Boyce has shared that he has been preparing for this role for the past 25 years. Yes. Due to his thorough preparation, dedication to community engagement, and commitment to serving the community, he was appointed Raleigh's police chief by our city manager on March 1st, 2025. At this time, please welcome Raleigh Mayor Janet Cowell to the podium for special remarks.
Thank you. It's my honor to be here as mayor on what is a very good day for Raleigh. I will say one thing that's nerve-wracking about being mayor is you really don't have that much control or power, and yet you know, because it's a highly recognized office, that if something goes wrong, we know who's getting the blame. And I will say, of course, we have our wonderful city manager who, has her hand steadily on the wheel, but the police chief is a highly recognizable position in the community, right? People know who the police chief is. It is part of the brand of the city, the values of the city. And so I can say I am very glad that it is Chief Rico Boyce who will be holding this office, and that I and the city councilors will get to work with in the coming years. I have gotten to know him just over the past few months, but you immediately see the level of energy and presence. He is there in the closed sessions. He's there at the city council meetings. And I also, some of you may occasionally have breakfast at Big Ed's. And I was there one day for breakfast with a bunch of different cross-jurisdictional public safety officers, and in comes Chief Boyce, and he worked the entire table. He shook the hands, he said hello. And I was like, man, this guy could run for office. Yeah. You're not that crazy. On top of that, I've had the chance to see him out in the community. And as you just heard that he was a resource officer here at South Raleigh High. I was over at St. Aug's and was walking into a Raleigh Firebirds basketball game. I'm sure some of you were fans. I wasn't sure who I was going to see, but I walked in and there, Chief Boyce. And another meeting I was in with him, we were meeting with some neighbors on a street that was having a particularly tough time with crime, and I watched him in action there, right, with these neighbors, listening, taking the notes, coming up with ideas. One of the things he's already started doing, right, is this cop on the block, getting folks out of the cars, building the relationships in the community. And I was thrilled, right, to hear that he has those sort of sensibilities and values. Finally, he is data-driven, which really appreciate that, this is about solving crimes, having people feel safe. This is an incredibly important part of running the city, and that he is doing that in a strategic way, an efficient way, targeting how we can prevent crime, and then if crimes do happen, how we can hold people accountable. So I will, again, on behalf of the City Council, Councilor Branch and Mayor Pro Tem Fort, We are very supportive of you. We look forward to working with you and making sure that you are successful in this role. Thank you.
At this time, please welcome Raleigh City Manager Marshall Adams David to the podium.
Good evening. Oh, come on, what an amazing day. We could do better than that. Good evening. Yes, absolutely. It is indeed my pleasure and my absolute joy to stand before you today. Number one, as the city manager of this great city, but number two, as the person who is responsible for hiring this police chief. You know, throughout your career, there are some things that go without saying, and there are some things that you know before you even know it. And when we started this process, it was a no-brainer. So obviously, we had to go through the process to lend credibility to it. But from the beginning, it was clear who was the front runner. There is a song that says, "Let the work I've done speak for me." And my pastor, who happens to be on the stage, says I'm a bootleg preacher, so I'm not going to preach tonight. And Rico said he wanted this to be quick so we can get out of here. So I won't go there. That'll be for part 2. But I just want you to know that I've had the pleasure of the last 10 and a half, 11 years working beside this man, seeing him in action when things were difficult, when things were easy. I've seen him laugh when we had fun. I've often seen tears come to his eyes at some of the situations that we've had to face as a community. He's always done it with a level of intentionality, a level of compassion, and a level of empathy. He embraces and encompasses all of the things that are right about law enforcement. So it was easy for me to choose him. He stands on business when things don't go right. He holds people accountable when they don't do what they're supposed to do. And he holds the community accountable when it doesn't do what it is supposed to do. And what more can you ask for? It is a reciprocal agreement where we're all in this together. So before I take my seat, one of the things that I like most about Rico, and when I first really met him, I said, so because y'all know we all have nicknames. I'm like, is your real name Rico? And he was like, ma'am, yes, it's Rico. Because I thought it was the nickname. I was going to try to figure out what his real name was. And then I said, well, okay, if you're Rico, I can be Lulu, which is my nickname. And so over the years, we've kind of worked together on some tough things. I've seen him grow and mature in the profession, holding steadfast to the core values not only of this department, but of the city and of the profession as a whole. To your wife and to your children and to your mother, thank you for loaning Rico to us for 25 years. A couple years ago, I met Rico at the Starbucks on Wake Forest Road. Little did we know then that we would be here at this moment in 2025. And so the level of commitment that he has not only brought to this organization, but ultimately to this community. So Rico, we're in this thing together. We're going to ride off onto the sunset together. This relationship is not 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. We are in it to win it. Because I don't intend to do this again during my career. So I am saving the best for last. So honestly, thank you all for being here. I think the number of people here is a true testament, not only to your work, but who you are as a man. And there are 2 quick things I want to point out that many of you may not know. So Rico is my brother in the true sense of being a brother. He is a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Right? So the Alpha's over there. And I happen to be a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Those are my brothers. And then secondly, Rico and I share a love for cheerleading. And so if you really want to see who Rico is, you should see Rico at a cheer competition on Saturdays and Sundays. I'm going to leave that right there. But to say he loves his baby girl and that he has grown to love the sport is an understatement, and we share that as well. So Rico, it is indeed my honor and privilege. It was an easy decision to make, and I am so proud that you will be my last police chief. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Adams David. And shout out to all the cheerleaders. I did not mention I cheered when I was at Southeast too, so thank you for that. Universally, the badge of a police officer is one of the most recognized symbols of policing. It is a visible representation of the duty to protect and to serve. Equally important is its representation of accountability and public trust. Chief Boyce's uniform, adorned with the Eagle insignia, represents the highest level of authority and governance within this organization. It symbolizes his role and responsibility in leading and guiding departmental personnel while striving to maintain a strong connection between the city and the broader community that he serves. Chief Boyce, as you continue to uphold the department's mission to preserve and improve the quality of life, instill peace, and protect property through unwavering attention to your duties and partnership with the community, tonight we ceremoniously recognize your commitment to the City of Raleigh, the organization, its communities, and residents by entrusting you with the Raleigh Police Department's highest ranking symbols and title. Chief Boyce, will you please come forward for the pinning of the departmental insignia representing the Office of Chief of Police and administering the Chief's oath of office. Chief Boyce will be pinned by his mother, Miss Pamela Knock. While Ms. Knock remains on stage to assist with the oath of office, the Honorable Craig Kroom, Special Superior Court Judge, will now come forward to administer the oath of office.
Chief Boyce, what I'm going to have you do, because this is a promise to the people of the city of Raleigh, I'm going to have you face them as you do this. Okay. As you, there you go. Okay. All right. In other words, you're promising the people of Raleigh what you're about to do.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then you have the Bible. And Mom, if you will hold the Bible. Thank you. And if you repeat after me, left hand on the Bible, raise your right. I, your name.
I, Rico Boyce,
Do solemnly swear.
do solemnly swear
That I will be alert.
that I will be alert
And vigilant.
and vigilant
To enforce.
to enforce
The criminal laws.
the criminal laws
Of this state.
of this state. I thought it was city, but it's state. My bad.
I have sworn in a lot of people. This is the first time I've had this. But I tell you what, I'm going to change something. To enforce the criminal laws of this state and the city of Raleigh.
There we go. And the city of Raleigh.
That I will not be influenced
That
in
I will
any
not be-
matter
That I will not be influenced by any matter
on account
on account
of personal bias
of personal bias
or prejudice,
or prejudice,
that I will support
that I will support
and maintain
I'm
the
nervous,
Constitution
the Constitution
and laws
and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
and laws
and laws
of North Carolina,
of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith.
and not they're inconsistent with.
Let me give it to you again.
Oh,
Not inconsistent
not inconsistent
therewith,
therewith,
and that I will
and that I will
faithfully
faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge
and
execute
my duties
of office
of office
as Chief of Police
as Chief of Police
of Raleigh,
North Carolina,
according to the best of my skills,
according to the best of my skills,
abilities,
and judgment.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Without, no, you can go ahead. She can go ahead and pin you. Without further delay, I present to you the 31st Police Chief of the Raleigh Police Department, Rico L. Boyce.
That's my sister, by the way. Yeah. If you saw the nervousness and how much I embraced my mother, if you knew the story, you'll know why the emotion was the way it was. I'm going to try to get through this without needing any tissue. It's going to be tough. But this is my opportunity as the 31st Chief of Police for the Raleigh Police Department for me to give thanks to each of you that had a part in making this possible. So this is my gift to each and every one of you. First, I want to thank Southeast Raleigh High School Principal Eddie Harden. Principal Harden was a coach and teacher here when I was the school resource officer about 22 years ago. So Principal Harden, I want to say thank you for opening up the doors of Southeast Raleigh High School tonight for us to have this moment. So thank you. Also with that, I also want to thank my good buddy, Randy Weddle, who was an assistant principal here when I was here as a school resource officer. We had a thing we called ourselves Batman and Robin. I don't know, we never figured out, oh, there he is. We never figured out who was Batman, who was Robin. We had a mission every day. But that man showed me a lot, and he showed me how to do things the right way. So Randy, thank you. Now I want to thank my boss. You heard from her, the city manager, Marshall Adams David. Ma'am, I want to thank you for selecting me as the 31st Chief of Police for the Raleigh Police Department. I want to thank you for trusting me to do what's right, to do the job right, to lead the men and women of the Raleigh Police Department and keep our great city safe. I say I'm forever indebted to you, and thank you, ma'am. Mayor Cowell and the City Council, Mayor Pro Tem, Councilman Branch, I want to say thank you as well for your support. I look forward to working together, once again, to keeping this a great city to learn, play, and live. And I'm super excited for your support. Thank you as well. Yeah, y'all gonna do a lot of clapping here, so let's keep this going. I want to thank my fellow law enforcement partners. I see Chief Schultz. I see Chief Griffin. Chief White, Al White. I see here Chief Hess. All the chiefs here and those that I've missed, and Sheriff Rowe here. I want to thank you all for your help and your assistance that you provide to the city of Raleigh. I look forward to working with you and collaborating together to keep all our communities safe. So thank you. Can the members of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated please stand? I want to say thank you, brothers. 29 years ago, I crossed the burning sands. I took an oath, took a pledge to uphold our aims, manly deeds, scholarship, and love for all mankind. You can trust, as the chief, I'm going to continue to uphold those aims and hold Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated very high. Oh, 6. Alphas, we lead. So I'm not the only leader in the city of Raleigh. Our fraternity brother Chancellor Kevin Howe of North Carolina State University is also an alpha man. Because that's what we do as alphas, we lead. So thank you, brothers. Now, if I thanked everybody here individually, we'll be here probably about 2 or 3 weeks. So what I've done, there are 3 categories of individuals I want to thank. And by you all being here today, you either fit in 1, 2, or all 3 of these categories. First category of folks I want to thank are those who mentored me. Chief Mitch Brown, if you're here, you were the one that gave me a chance. I had doors shut on me. I was told no, but Chief Mitch Brown said yes, because God said yes. I truly believe my steps were ordered, and God placed me where I needed to be. So Chief Mitch Brown, thank you. Chief Deck Brown, his sister-in-law. Not only is she a mentor, she is like my mother here in Raleigh, because she can give you a good tune-up when you need one. And we all know when those glasses come down, it's about to be on. I had plenty of those conversations from Chief Deck Brown. But that woman loves some Rico Boyce. She made sure that I did things the right way. She didn't let me cut no corners. She made sure I stayed on the straight path. And I appreciate you, and I love you, Chief Deck Brown. Chief Patterson. Chief Patterson was like my big sister. When she moved from Charlotte to Raleigh, and she found out I was from Charlotte, and obviously I have a cousin, Reggie Boyce, that retired from CMPD. It was an instant connection between Chief Patterson and I, because we always talked about Charlotte. Well, Chief Patterson, she always told me, she said, Rico, I'm not going to give you anything. I'm going to make you earn it. And Chief Patterson, I earned it. And then I don't have any brothers, biological brothers. I got fraternity brothers. But I got this man named Cody Hunt. Cody Hunt, that's my brother. This man shoot it to me straight. He look out for me. He lets nothing come towards Rico Boyce. Nothing. From the moment I applied with the Raleigh Police Department, he was my background investigator. He, along with Lieutenant Angela Atkinson, who surprised me with her presence here today, they wrapped their arms around me and said, we got you. We're going to get you through this. And they did. So from that moment 25 years ago, Cody Hunt and Angela Atkinson are like brothers and sisters. Because if it wasn't for them, I would not be here right now. So I'm forever thankful to both of you. Thank you. There's many more I want to give thanks. I can thank everybody here with the mentoring that you have provided to me. But it's the Sherry Hunters. And real quick about Sherry Hunter, I love her to death. You can't ask for a better friend. There she go right there, Miss Hunter. If you came up through the Raleigh Police Department and you wanted things done, you better have Sherry Hunter's number in your phone. Because when things go bad, she's the one to fix them. So, Ms. Hunter, I want to say thank you. She put all this together with some help from my executive assistant, Ms. Shelley Owens. But I love you, I appreciate you, and thank you. So in this category of folks that mentor me, I want to reference the retired Wake County District Attorney Colin Willoughby, Jonas Cherry, Pat Neiman, Rob Council, Mike Bruce, and the list goes on with people who poured into me and looked out for me and gave me an opportunity. So thank you to all you. The second category of folks I want to thank, and I don't mean this in a negative way, I'll add some context to it here in a minute. I want to thank those who talked about me. They talked about me in rooms that I was not in. When it was a tough and challenging assignment, somebody said, call Rico. when there was an issue in the community and an officer had to go talk to somebody, somebody in the room said, call Rico or send Rico. When there was an assignment nobody else had wanted, somebody in some room said, call Rico. So I appreciate those who had the faith and trust that I would do what was right and get the job done. And I had no idea that they were talking about me. But it says something about what they thought about me. They knew if it was an important assignment, they just couldn't send just anybody to make the situation worse. And all the cops here know there's certain folks you don't want to go to certain places. So I'm thankful for that. I had no idea you were talking about me. Now, I'll be honest, some of those assignments, I question why. I'm like, you got 800 other officers you could call, but you chose me. But nonetheless, when you said send Rico, when you said send Sergeant Boyce, Lieutenant Boyce, Captain Boyce, or whatever my rank was at the time, I'm thankful for those opportunities you gave me to show my experience and my expertise as a law enforcement professional. So I say thank you. The third category of folks I want to thank, and I hope this is everyone, not only doing this in the past as I was coming up through the ranks, but especially now as the chief of police. But I want to thank those that prayed for me. Over these 25 years, I've been in some events where I didn't know if I was going to make it home to my family. Somewhere, somebody was praying for me. Y'all know Rico. Y'all know I got into some stuff. Some stuff I just wrote up on and some stuff I created. But I came out on top because somebody was praying for me. I know it had to be the prayers of people who not only prayed for me, but also prayed for the entire Raleigh Police Department. Pray that each and every officer would make it home safely and return to their families. I know that you're praying because just last night, many people showed up at the Lenovo Center and prayed and thanked our officer Gillett for putting his life on the line to protect this community. So I want to thank you for praying for me even when I didn't know you were praying for me. I would also tell you, as the chief of police, I'm going to need a whole lot of prayer. I need you to cover me in prayer as I go through this next phase of life, and I lead the men and women of the Raleigh Police Department here in the capital city. To the Raleigh community, for 25 years you embraced a kid from Charlotte who knew nothing about law enforcement. I actually had dreams of being an NBA player, but Charlotte Hornets picked another guy a little bit shorter than me as the point guard. Little Muggsy Bogues, that dude, man. But City of Raleigh, you embraced my leadership style. You embraced the way I interacted with the community. You embraced everything I did as a law enforcement officer coming through the ranks. And I want to thank you, Raleigh. Even in some of my unconventional leadership initiatives, you guys supported me. Y'all know I'm big on cops on the block right now. It's happening. It's best thing happening in Raleigh right now, cops on the blocks. But thank you. Southeast Raleigh. That's right, Southeast Raleigh. You supported me, and I want to say thank you. If you know my story about Southeast and what it means to me, that explains why we're here tonight. Many people ask, like, Southeast? I'm like, where else we gonna be? I am Southeast. 22 years ago, I was selected as the school resource officer, but there's a story behind that, and I'll briefly share that story because I don't think that person's here right now. I think they retired. But I was off, took a day off from work, and my squad thought it would be a great idea when the sergeant came around and said, hey, somebody got to go to school resource officer school. Somebody submitted my name. True story. I was off. I come back to work, and the Sergeant Smart, said, hey, Rico, you going to school resource officer school? I like, yo, Sarge. I'm a crime fighter, man. I ain't going to no school. He like, come on, Rico, you do it. I said, okay, Sarge, I'll do it. But I'd never be a school resource officer. So I go to school for a week. I come back, and this is where Captain White said, hey, little eagle, we got the North Carolina Central thing going here. But Captain White said, hey, little eagle, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to go be a school resource officer. I said, whoa, Captain. I told y'all, man, I'm a crime fighter. I'm not going over to the school. He said, well, you're going over to the school. So I came kicking and screaming. I came to Southeast Raleigh High School 22 years ago as a school resource officer. And I must say, it was one of the best assignments I ever had. I was able to interact and engage young people and set them on a trajectory to being productive citizens, making great decisions, contributing to society in a positive way. Although I came kicking and screaming, it was well worth it because of the young people I was able to influence, many of whom are here today. Just ask our mistress of ceremony, Taisha Mosley. Like she said, I didn't know you were going to put that in your speech, by the way. She was a student here when I was a school resource officer. I selected her to be a moderator today because I wanted her to share this full circle moment with me at Southeast Raleigh High School, a place that we both hold near and dear to our hearts. When I hear Southeast, not only Southeast Raleigh, but Southeast, I am Southeast. When I got out of the academy, I was assigned to the Southeast District. I got selected to be the school resource officer at Southeast Raleigh High School. I was the sergeant in the Southeast District. I was the lieutenant in the Southeast District. I was the captain here in the Southeast District. I haven't worked any other district but Southeast Raleigh in the Southeast District. That's why we're here tonight, because Southeast Raleigh raised me. And look what you did, Southeast. You put one of your own in the chief's office as the chief of police for the Raleigh Police Department. I must give credit to all those here at Southeast Raleigh, and that's why we're here tonight, if anybody was wondering why. Next, the men and women of the Raleigh Police Department. As I was going through the interview process to become chief of police, I saw the comments on social media. I saw the comments from the survey where majority, if not all, said we want Rico Boyce as our next chief. I would have not gotten this type of feedback if you guys, RPD, did not trust that I could do the job. Because truthfully, y'all a brutal bunch. Y'all would tell me. Seeing you say Rico Boyce is our guy and we want him as our chief made me feel very good and honored. So RPD, I want to say thank you. Let me tell you this too. Before I became a police officer, some doors was closed on me. However, I pushed through those doors and I never gave up. So any young officer that's in our current 131st Academy, you can do it. I came here with no law enforcement experience. I had a cousin who I give much credit to, Reggie Boyce, retired CMPD. He was the only one in our family at the time in law enforcement. But I came here, worked my tail off in the academy, won the physical fitness award. Look at this body. I was selected as the vice president of my academy's class. And this is what I'm most proud of. I came in as a recruit, a rookie, an officer, a first-class officer, a master officer, a senior officer, a detective, a sergeant, a lieutenant, a captain, a major, a deputy chief, and the chief of police. I did that. As they say, I started from the bottom, but now I'm here. I'm a witness to there's nothing you can't do if you put your mind to it and you remain positive. If I can do it, trust me, anybody can do it. So what you're going to get from me is like this, like I laid out on March 1st when I sent the email out to the entire department, and it's actually on the program. Everybody can look at the back of your program and see what I laid out as my priorities, my vision for this department, and how I'm going to lead and keep this city and this department safe. The men and women of Raleigh Police Department, I need you to do three things to help me fulfill my strategic priorities. And I'm sure you heard these before. It's the 3 Ps. First, I need you to be present. I need y'all to come to work. I need you to come here to serve this great community that we have sworn an oath to protect and serve. The second P is I need you to be professional. I need you to interact with people like they're your grandmother, your grandfather, your great aunt, your great uncle, your cousin, your second cousin, and all that at the family reunion. I need you to treat people like family. I need you to understand that the badge and patch that you wear on your uniform represents more than just you. The retirees here, can the retirees from Raleigh Police please stand up for me right now? If you're a retired employee, a Raleigh officer. You guys and women, you built this reputation. You built the brand of RPD. And trust me, as the chief of police, I am not going to let any officer tarnish that reputation and the brand of the Raleigh Police Department. The third P, I need you to be prepared. I need you to mentally and physically be prepared to do this type of work. I need you to eat healthy. I need you to work out. I need you to get rest. I need you to have friends and associates outside of the police department that you can talk to and confide in when you have issues and troubles on your mind. I need you to have an outlet outside of RPD. I need you to be whole. I need you to have a spiritual connection to something higher than yourself. That if you need to go into a closet and shut the door and have a moment, that's what I need you to do. If you follow my strategic priorities and you remember the 3 Ps, we're going to remain one of the best police departments in this country. So as I close, I got one last thank you, and that's my family. Keisha, Caleb, Caitlin, Mommy, Sister Tangi, Aunt Lois, Cousin Felicia, Cousin Anthony, Cousin Reggie, nephew Amir, Secret Service guy. I didn't mean to blow your cover. Sharon, my in-laws, Mr. and Mr. Harden. I love you all. Can all my family from Charlotte, Boyce and Harding, please stand? Can all RPD officers please stand, and law enforcement officer? If you're a law enforcement officer, please stand. City manager, mayor, council, assistant city managers, and any City of Raleigh employee, please stand. Can any Divine Nine member please stand? Don't do it, Cody. Can any of my high school friends or anybody from Charlotte, Myers Park, North Carolina Central University, any HBCU, please stand. Y'all gonna be standing for a little bit longer, hold on. Raleigh Police Foundation members, if you're in attendance, could you please stand? If you live in the city of Raleigh, can you please stand? And if you came to see Chief Rico Boyce get sworn in today, please stand. In closing, this is my why. This is my why. You guys are where I put off retirement to accept this position. Each and every one of you should be proud because you put me here. Y'all wanted me, I'm here. So I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to the City of Raleigh. I want to say thank you to my boss, Marshall Adams David. And like I said in the public forum during the interview process, I'm battle tested and I'm ready. Thank you all for coming out tonight. I love you. Thank you.
We appreciate your presence at this event commemorating a significant milestone in the history of the Raleigh Police Department. Chief Boyce, we look forward to your vision, your innovative strategies, and leadership. We do want to extend a thank you to the Swearing In Planning Committee, our stage guests, ceremony participants, the great and wonderful Southeast Raleigh Magnet High School, administrators and personnel, the Wake and District Pipe Band, and the RPD Color Guard and volunteers. At this time, please remain standing as we prepare to retire the colors and then remain standing for the benediction. At the sound of our pipers, we will conclude with the recession led by our honoree and special guests. Please join us in the lobby, or what we used to call the Great Hall, for a reception. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Before I do the benediction, Rico, I want to say congratulations to you. I am a retired chaplain, and you called me out of retirement just for this, and I couldn't help but say yes. Thank you for being my homeboy from Charlotte, NCCU, and I had to represent Omega Psi Phi. Thank you for the brothers. God said he was Alpha and Omega. So I know I'm right on that one. May we pray. Gracious and ever-living God, as we come to the close of these very sacred and sincere moments, we lift up Chief Rico Boyce, whom you have called and led with wisdom, integrity, and compassion. Bless him with strength and discernment as he serves the city of Raleigh. Cover his mother, his wife, his children, and his family, and all of this department with your grace. And grant them peace and protection. Unite all of our officers and our staff, sworn and civilian, in the purpose of cooperation and respect. May your spirit guide Chief Boyce in every decision that he makes. May he always administer justice, mercy, and truth. May it always prevail. We ask that you would go with him, be the sun before him, be the shade at the close of his day, be the strength when he opens his eyes, to know that he's been refreshed to see a brand new day. We pray and ask this all in your mighty name. Amen.